welcome to the Quiet Your Inner Mean Girl podcast, a place for you to find the courage you need to take the first step and every step thereafter to create the habits, the confidence, and the life that you love. I'm your host, health and life coach, Abby Hegney. Let's dive in. Welcome back to episode 36. Today, we are going to talk about knowing versus doing. This is going to cover all of the times that you said to yourself, I know what to do, I'm just not doing it. I know what to do, I just don't feel like it. Or maybe I just need to know a little bit more. We're going to talk about why we get stuck in this cycle of knowing what to do, but not doing it, thinking that we need to know more in order to feel ready or to feel motivated. What's really happening when we are stuck in this cycle, and more importantly, what's not happening when we are stuck in one of these no cycles. And I have been thinking about this a lot over the past 2 weeks because both of my kids have been homesick for the past 10 days. And during that time, there has been a lot of moments where I have felt very overwhelmed. I could hear my victimy little inner mean girl creeping in, telling me that this shouldn't be happening, that I don't have time for this. And I'm so glad that I have learned to hear her voice and to not fall victim to it myself, because honestly, it makes it so much worse. It's hard enough to hear it, but then when you start believing it and falling victim to it, it's so much harder. So over the past 10 days that my kids have been sick, I have really been thinking about how important it is for us to take care of ourselves when our kids are sick, when our schedules are really busy, when life doesn't go as planned. When these challenges come up, our inner mean girl quickly jumps in with the story, I don't have time for this. And taking care of ourselves during this type of time, during these challenges, during these situations where life just feels really busy, taking time for ourselves is the first thing to go. But with it goes our energy, goes our patience, goes our ability to handle the challenges of life in a calmer, more confident manner. We know that taking time for ourselves makes us feel so much better, but we don't do it. We know what to eat to feel healthy, to have more energy, to lose weight, but we tell ourselves that we have no control, that we can never stick with anything, that it's so hard. We know that moving our bodies makes us feel so much more confident, but we tell ourselves that we don't feel like it, that we're not motivated, that we aren't the type of person who can be consistent. We know what we need to do to feel less stressed and more balanced, but we tell ourselves we don't have time for that. Everybody and everything needs us. We always need to be on. We know we want to change, but we tell ourselves that we're not ready, that we need more information, that we need more details before we can start. There is a big difference between knowing what to do and doing it. We spend so much time in the knowing cycle. And yet, the more time we spend there, the harder it becomes to start doing. We create so much overwhelm in the knowing. We allow our inner mean girl to feed us so many negative stories about who we are and what we are capable of that they start to feel like the truth. It makes it harder to start. It creates a bigger gap between where you are and where you want to be. As that gap gets bigger, the no cycle gets longer. And there are two parts to this no cycle that I want to cover with you. There's one part in which we think that we need to know more before we feel like we are ready to start. This belief that if we just get the right amount of information or we get the right information, it will give us the motivation and the readiness we need to start. What it really does is keeps us in consuming mode. We read all of the articles, we listen to all of the podcasts, we read all of the books, we ask everyone we can possibly ask what has worked for them. We think that the more information we gather, the more we know, the more ready we will feel. Or potentially, the more we gather, the more likely we are to find the perfect plan, the thing that works. This is all passive action. It's very time consuming. It feels like you are working towards your goals, but in reality, you're not moving the needle at all. You're spending all of this time and energy on things that aren't moving you closer to where you want to be. What you are really doing is inundating yourself with information, which only causes you to be more confused because now you have so much information, you don't know what to do with it. It causes doubt because now you're questioning if you have what it takes to put all of these puzzle pieces together. It causes overwhelm because where do you even start? So much of the information that you have collected is contradictory, and it's all running through your brain at a million miles per hour. And if you're anything like I used to be, it's all consuming. It's all you can think about. You're constantly trying to work it out. Even if you don't want to be trying to work it out, your brain can't stop. It's as if you took a 500-piece puzzle and made it a 50,000-piece puzzle. It makes it feel so much harder. We think that the more information we gather, the closer we'll be to creating the habits and the balance and the consistency and the confidence that we want. But the reality is, it makes it feel further away. All of that information that you gather causes you to hesitate, to wait, to put off what you really want. It does the complete opposite of what you thought it would do. The second part of this cycle is knowing what to do and what you want to be doing, but not doing it. This shows up in believing that we don't have the time or the energy. We tell ourselves that we don't feel like it. We even tell ourselves that we don't want it, even when it's the thing that we want more than anything. I had a client just the other day who has been working on really nailing down routines that help her to feel more confident and productive. And we started with her nighttime routine because that felt easiest for her. And in just a couple weeks, she's gotten it down. It feels really good. She's more rested, she's more productive, she's happier. And so she said to me on our call the other day, I just wish I could do the same thing with my morning routine. We went on to talk about what that morning routine would look like if she was doing it, if it felt as easy as her nighttime routine was feeling. And she painted this picture for herself of getting up earlier, going to the gym on some of those days, enjoying a hot cup of coffee on the other days, giving herself time in the morning to get ready for work, to feel prepared, to feel organized before she even had to like jump in and start her day. And then I asked her thoughts on doing this. And she told me, I just don't want to get out of bed. I had to stop her. I was like, hold up. What is it that you want? Let's get very clear on that because you just told me you wanted a morning routine. You wanted that same sense of calm, confidence, productiveness that you're now feeling from a nighttime routine. You wanted that in a morning routine. You described it in detail, and now you're telling me you don't want to get out of bed. Which is your truth? But this is what we do all of the time. We know that we want something. We can see how that would play out in our lives. But then we let our complacent little inner mean girl pop up and tell us, I don't want to. And then we forget what we actually want because we fall victim to her stories. Instead of doing the things that we know will make us feel better, we go on doing the things that keep us feeling tired, feeling stressed, uncomfortable in our bodies, unprepared, unproductive, guilty, resentful. We convince ourselves that we will get to it one day, but as long as you allow the one day story to be a part of who you are, one day never comes. Whether you are in the first part of the no cycle or the second part of this no cycle, you already know everything that you need to know to get started. You know that you want it. You know that you're currently not doing it. And you know that you will feel so much better when you do it. You have to start doing. Knowing doesn't create more balance in your life. It isn't how the weight comes off. It's not how the weight stays off. Knowing is not what makes you feel more comfortable in your own skin. It doesn't make you more consistent or bring you the energy that you crave. Knowing isn't going to give you more patience. It's not going to alleviate your stress. Knowing doesn't make you feel better. That only comes from doing. Between knowing and doing, there is an emotion that you aren't yet willing to feel. Maybe that's fear. Maybe you fear that it's not going to work, that you won't be able to do it. Maybe it's doubt. Maybe you aren't sure how it's all going to work or how you're going to do it. Maybe it's regret or resentment. Maybe you're beating yourself up because you've waited for so long. Maybe you're telling yourself that you should have started a long time ago. Maybe you're disappointed that you've let yourself get this far. Or maybe you feel guilty that you know what to do. You know that you should be doing it. You know that you need to be doing it. You know that you want to be doing it, but you're not doing it. These are big emotions to feel. I felt this last week when I was overwhelmed with everything that was going on. When I was telling myself this shouldn't be happening, it felt really hard. It is hard to feel these emotions, but it's harder not to. The thing that we don't see when we keep ourselves stuck in this knowing cycle because we are afraid to feel these big emotions is that by not feeling them, by resisting them, by sweeping them under the rug, by not taking steps to create the change we want to create, we amplify these emotions. The confusion we feel because of all of the information we have gathered turns into overwhelm because we don't know where to start. Starting feels too hard. And when it feels too hard, we doubt ourselves. We think that we must have missed something along the way. We start to question whether we will be able to do it. We start thinking about the limited amount of time and energy that we have. And it doesn't feel like it's anywhere close to what it needs to be in order to create the change that we want. That doubt turns to frustration. We wish we would have started sooner. We get mad that we let it get this far. We feel guilty because we knew what to do and we just weren't doing it. We let it go on when we could have changed it. It all feels too heavy. And we give up on ourselves before we even start. Take a minute and think about What emotions come up for you when you think about starting? What emotion is leading the way when you tell yourself, I don't know what to do? Or I know what to do, but I'm not doing it? What if you were honest with yourself and instead of saying, I don't know what to do, you told yourself, I'm scared. I'm scared to get started. I'm scared I won't be able to do it. I'm scared that I'll fail. I know what to do, but I'm full of doubt. I know what to do, but I'm really frustrated. I know what to do, but it feels overwhelming. And then I want you to think about what's waiting for you on the other side. Bring that into your narrative. Hear your inner mean girl and all of the stories that she has to tell you and remind yourself what you want. I'm scared to get started, and I know I'll feel so much better when I do. I'm scared that I won't be able to do it, and I want to move my body more consistently so I have the energy that I need to keep up with my kids. I'm scared that I will fail, and I want to lose this weight so I can feel more confident in my body. I'm full of doubt right now, and I don't want to go on feeling the way that I do. I want to feel healthy. I want to feel confident. I'm frustrated right now, and I'm tired of being tired all of the time. I'm overwhelmed right now, and I want to feel like I'm living my life and not just checking the boxes. I want you to really think of the reasons why you aren't doing it as the reasons why you should do it, why you need to do it. That fear you have will always be there until you walk yourself through it, until you prove to yourself that you are capable. The time you tell yourself that you don't have, you don't think you have, you don't know where you're going to get it from, you have to find out where it's going. What are you spending your time on that isn't as important as taking time for yourself? When you can get out of that passive action, you create so much more time and energy and space in your day for the things that you really want. You stop wasting your time on things that aren't moving you forward. And that is time and energy that you can spend moving the needle. That is the value of stepping out of the knowing and into the doing. Just for a minute, think about what is on the other side of knowing. Think about what you would create if you started doing. The life that you envision for yourself, the habits you wish came easy, the confidence that you want to feel as you put on your clothes and step in front of the mirror, the energy you know is so important to be able to keep up with your life. That is the cost of continuing to live in the no cycle. Yes, it is hard to get started. There is no doubt about that. But it is harder not to. Be willing to rewrite your story. Be willing to quiet your inner mean girl and build your confident self concept. You have everything that you need to get started, to keep going, to find the motivation when motivation is nowhere to be found. This is one of the greatest skills that my clients learn when they coach with me. They learn to ride the waves of motivation because motivation does come, but it also goes. And when it's not there, they learn how to create it for themselves. But bringing themselves back to this point, to the habits, to the confidence, the balance, the consistency, the patience, the energy, the life that is waiting for them on the other side is the most important thing that they can do. It's what creates the motivation to keep going. They are in control. They don't need more information. They don't need motivation. They don't need to feel like it. They have everything that they need. They learn to make powerful decisions for the life that they are creating. It's time to create that life for yourself. I want to leave you today with a story from one of my clients who reached out to me last year. She said that she had been following me for a while and she had been thinking about coaching, but she had been hesitant to schedule a consultation call. Her thought was something like, I don't know if you're going to be able to offer me something that I don't already know. And so I want to tell you what I told her when she reached out with that thought. I said to her, I can't tell you what more I would offer you without first getting to know you. What you already know, what's working for you, and what's not working for you. We do all of that on the consultation call. But it sounds to me like you think coaching could help you. It's why it's on your mind. It's why you've reached out. It may even be the reason why you are hesitant to schedule a call. It's also why you should schedule the call. Sometimes deciding to schedule a consultation call is the scariest part, but that scary step transforms you. It takes you from knowing what to do, knowing what you want to do, into doing what you know you want to do. I told her, continue to read my emails, continue to listen to my podcast. That content is designed to support you. But know that no matter what information you gather or how much you know, none of it matters until you start taking action. That is where I come in. That's where the habits, the confidence, and the life you want comes in. I help you to do it simply, not with willpower, not through deprivation or restrictions. That's not required over here. I help you to do it simply so you can feel confident for the rest of your life. So you can lose the weight that you want to lose and not have to worry about gaining it back. So you can feel more balanced, have more patience with your kids, and more time to connect with those you love. My guess is you don't need more information. You already know. You just need to start doing. I help you to do just that on the days you feel motivated, but more importantly, on the days you don't. On the days that you are filled with doubt, the days that any other time would have made you give up, you'll learn how to keep going. That consult call is the first step. It's the only one that you have to do alone. My client, she took that first step. Her life is changed forever. Since she started coaching, she has said to me, I didn't realize how little I thought of myself. I didn't realize how overwhelmed I was and how hard I was making everything. Now I feel confident in who I am and the decisions that I'm making. I've learned that I don't have to do everything that I've always done. I get to create my future. I feel so much better. I feel liberated, free from my inner mean girl. I feel so much lighter and so much happier now. I wanted to leave you with this story. This is what is on the line. This is what you are missing by continuing to live in the knowing. I invite you to step into the doing, just like my client did. This is the importance of quieting your inner mean girl. And we focus a lot on the stories that she tells you and how to navigate them inside of Confident Mind and Body. But even more so, we focus on the life you want to create for yourself because at the end of the day, that's what matters. I invite you to schedule your free consultation, to step out of knowing and into doing. Let's create the habits, the confidence, and the life that you want. I cannot wait to talk to you. You are ready to quiet your inner mean girl. I invite you to join me inside Confident Mind and Body, my private coaching program, where you will learn to quiet your inner mean girl and create the habits, the confidence, and the life that you love. Just visit wellnesswithabbyh.com and schedule a free consultation. Let's